think one of the hardest things about prep is when you have to go places. All of this stuff that you see here is literally just for 2 nights. That's it. I've got my outfits, my cardio fits, my tennis shoes, my training shoes, my camera, 2 lunch boxes, a bag full of like my dry foods and supplements, plus my overnight bag, and hoping to spend some time in a bikini. So we got our cowboy hat for the sun. Anyway, get ready to head out of town for the weekend. A lot of catching up to do with you guys, a lot of explaining. So that is all coming in this video, I promise. And let's get this show on the road.
The traditional, like how the kids make it nowadays, is just, it's crazy.
Also, too, the fact that he had to move to California.
All right, guys, it's time for an explanation while I finish out this drive. I think I got about 50 minutes left. I'm just driving back home to Central Illinois, hang out with family and stuff the next few days. But I need to explain myself for why I ghosted y'all on YouTube. When it came to my show, I can't even remember the last video I posted, how many weeks out I was. I want to say 6+, but I could be way off base there. To be honest, I consume a lot of YouTube content, and I consume a lot of really good creators, like who maybe have a photography background and things like that, or they have a photographer they've hired to record and edit their vlogs. I don't watch a ton of accounts, I guess, like mine. And I have all these ideas, and I can see the vision of how I would want to record this and how I would edit it and what kind of music I would want to use in the story I want to tell and the clips I need to get in order to do that. But then that's a lot of work, you guys. And then my brain was like, okay, well, if I can't do it how I want to do it, then I need to wait until I can do it how I want to do it. And then, you know, the perfectionism takes over, and then it just never gets done. So that's essentially what happened going into prep. But also, like, we had to dig pretty hard. And so my food got really low, my cardio got really high, and I was essentially brain dead. And I just ran out of the bandwidth to continue YouTube, because it's definitely a bigger project. Editing these videos takes quite a bit of time, but I genuinely really do love it. And I love the storytelling aspect that you get on YouTube as well. And then I also just want this to be the place where I like really connect with my people and I can go a little deeper on things. So I want to bring it back. And like I think about a lot my like 2021 season in competing. I think about all the travels I did in Montana, and I vlogged some of that. And I think about like getting back into dirt bikes, and I think that was in 23, 24-ish. And I just wish that I had more memories of that stuff. So we're back. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna stick with it. And the only way that that can actually happen successfully, though, is if I accept that every video might not be this wonderful production. I might not get all the transitional clips that I really would love to have. Oh, what's he doing? I gotta pass this guy. I might not get all like the beautiful transitional clips that I really want. I might not create the like highest, most well-produced videos that I know I'm capable of doing, because for the sake of needing to just simply get it done. It can't be perfect, but it can be done. That's one of my favorite quotes that I've heard the last like few years, because it is, I'm sure many of you are very similar. It's so easy to be like, this has to be just right. It has to be just right. And lately I've noticed too, the deeper I've gotten into prep, the more that habit has kind of started to really get more aggressive. So this is a good practice for me to just check the box, get it done, and have these memories to look back on. Long story short on why I stopped recording and why I'm picking the camera back up again. Let's talk a little bit of recap about how the show went. I'll put some clips in here and stuff and keep you guys updated on that. But the show went well. My suit was purple. I have a couple clips and stuff. I'll throw those all in here. But the show went well. It was just like a local regional show. I think there were like 8 girls in my 35+ master's class, which was really cool. And then I think there was just 1 other girl in my height class, which honestly for these regional shows, I wish they wouldn't do so many height classes. I wish they would just do like 4 height classes, A, B, C, D, and like cut it there. That way there's like more competitors in each class, and it actually like you have a full roster, because it's really like there's only 1 girl in A, and like what a bummer to go through all that effort and all that work to compete against no one. Like, I would be so sad. Anyway, that's another story. But anyway, so 35+ and Open B were my 2 classes, and I ended up winning both of them, which I was super thrilled about. Pretty happy with my package overall. Of course, there are always things that we want to improve, and we'll get into that in a minute, but pretty happy with my package overall. Super happy to have done that well and to get to go like battle in the overall, which was so fun. Like, I really thrive up there. I really like the stage. I'm very much one of those, like, give me a microphone, I'll make the announcements, I'll do the public speaking. Being up on stage and like going at it for the overall is just, it's a blast. I even got to do the walk forward and back, which was fantastic. But overall had a really, really wonderful time. And I enjoyed it quite a bit, learned quite a bit about what I want to do differently, potentially, like with my hair. I was the first time I've ever had my makeup done. Charmaine did my makeup for me, and I really loved it. I'm excited, but for my next show, I'm doing my own makeup because she's got enough on her plate that day. Lots I want to change about my posing. I look back, I over-rotated in my front pose, and I don't really like any of my photos or my videos that I paid extra money for or anything because I didn't present well as I would have liked. So that's going to be a big focus moving forward. So hopefully bringing something more polished, and that was on me. What's next? So we are, I think, 4 weeks out from North Americans. I'm really excited, but I also kind of feel like I'm going to throw up. All right, let me rephrase that. I'm feeling a lot better now than I was, say, 3 or 4 days ago, and nothing really has shifted that much outside of just my mindset around things. Interesting, whenever you diet down, you can really tell, like, prep exposes things. People, you hear that phrase all the time, you're like, yeah, whatever. I'm mentally tough, I'm fine, I've done this multiple times before, it's no big deal. But it really, really, truly does. It strips everything away and shows you exactly what's left underneath. And my mental game wasn't as strong as I thought it was. I can tell that the past year and a half just, I feel like I'm a broken record, and I hate saying this because I don't want to sound whiny, but genuinely the last year and a half-ish, 2 years, have just been really hard. And it's like, I feel like I've been living in this constant state of like fight or flight, like survival mode for multiple different reasons, and you can't prep in that. But my brain hasn't really been my friend the last few weeks. It's been really, really aggressive with like negative self-talk and just like lack of self-belief and all these things. Because I know when you go to the national level, like, I know what they're looking for. And I know my previous feedback many, many moons ago was you're too muscular, but I know that that's not a problem anymore. These girls are huge, and I fear that I might be actually undersized. But I also just have I was just feeling a lot of fear, honestly, and pressure, because I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to bring something I'm not proud of, and I don't want to bring unconditioned glutes again. Like, I'm sick of it. And that's not on, like, anyone, but it's just like a lot of it is stress. I was having a hard time losing in that area. I've never really seen my glutes peeled. They're honestly probably the most peeled I've ever seen them currently, like right now, today. But I was just feeling all this pressure, and like, I didn't even realize how much I was comparing on social media until I really made myself like sit and think about how often I open that app right now. And so I've decided, like, I'm done like scrolling on Instagram. I'll check my friends' stories, I'll post and I'll respond to DMs, but I'm done mindlessly like just scrolling through the app. I'm not doing that anymore. Because yeah, guys, the last like week or two have just been really hard. And that's another reason, like, mentally, like, I just feel mentally weak, and I hate that. But that's another reason I wanted to pick up the camera again. I want to be real. I want to share this with you guys. But really the big thing is I'm not documenting the journey because I want to hide. I want to keep it on the DL because, like, what if I do really bad and I don't want to talk about it? But that's part of it. It's just part of the journey, and everyone goes through it, and everyone has seasons or shows where things don't go the way they want to go. And I hate to admit that I feel like I shouldn't say this. That's weird. Sorry, there's like a giant hand sculpture. That's disgusting. I hate that. I feel like I shouldn't admit to this, but like, I don't really have any expectation of getting a pro card. Like, I don't think that's going to happen for me this year. But I do think that it's important that I put myself out there again. Wow, this is really hard. Whoa. I do think it's really important that I put myself out there again, and I at least step on a stage this big and scary, just to remind myself the purpose behind this whole prep and why I started it was to remind myself, like, who I am, what I'm capable of doing, how hard I can work. And I think I always argue that one of the biggest game changers in life is doing hard things, putting yourself in tough situations and choosing to follow through. And one of the big things that I realized with this prep is I don't want to stop now out of fear. I would want to stop now only if I like genuinely was like, I don't really want to step on stage. I don't want to Like I'm currently experiencing the fact that the only thing holding me back is me. It's my stress. It's my fear. It's my worry. That's what's making my body hold on to fat, and that's what's making my sleep really suffer. And sure, I could say, you know what, I'm not mentally here for this prep. It's time to pull the plug. But I know that I can overcome this. I know that this is an opportunity to practice becoming exactly who I say I am. It's an opportunity to grow through this so I can show my clients how they can push through or grow. Because you can't just push through, actually. You have to fucking level up. You can't simply just grind. No, you have to change. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to evolve. I'm trying to change. I'm trying to push myself to think differently and let go of the negative self-talk and let go of the doubt and let go of the expectations and let go of the fear of, like, what are people going to say or think if I get third fucking call-outs or last. It doesn't matter. I just have to do this to show that I have follow through, and I'm not afraid. Damn, I didn't expect to get this, like, emo. Anyway, we're back. I'm going to go hang out with family this weekend. I'm going to try to learn how to wheelie. That's what's next. There's mud all over this thing now. Okay. They're not bees, though, right?
They're like flies.
All right, Ben, what's my tips?
Don't leave out.
Don't leave out. That's my only tip.
Find the balance.
Yeah, you gotta go a little more vertical.
How do you know when you did that?
Should balance. You should,
Start to feel like you're gonna fall over.
yeah, you should kind of be in that tipping point between where it's gonna fall forward or fall back. That's kind of, you just have to feel it. That was it. That was it.
So high.
That was it, though.
How small they are after you put that.
Pittsburgh bike.
It's the next day. I'm getting ready to go lift. I'm going to train mostly shoulders with a touch of glutes because tomorrow's actually going to be a rest day as well. And I haven't trained glutes in a while, but I got dry needling done last week, and my glutes and hips are still very sore. So I'm trying to let that recover. Also, I'm so sensitive to caffeine right now. I've drank half of this, and I kind of feel like I'm going to die. Lame. Anyway, getting ready to go lift. I don't know if I'll record much or not, honestly. It's a local little gym, and it's really nice. Definitely not somewhere where people typically record anything, and I don't want to disturb the peace. So I'll put feelers out when I get in there and we'll see. But today I'm gonna hang out with my sister for a little bit, and then we're gonna go check out Ace's aunt and uncle purchased a power sports dealership. So, well, a while ago, and they moved it to a new location a while ago. And I haven't seen it yet, so we're gonna go check that out. And then I don't know what this evening has in store, but come along for the ride. I checked in this morning. That's what I was gonna tell you guys. Checked in this morning, went really well. I'll put stuff up here. I meant to record it and completely forgot, but I'll put some stuff up here. New prep low, 115.6. Let's go. I have it in my head that I really want to see 113, but ultimately also I know that I don't need to see anything on the scale. I need to see my ass cheeks and my hamstring tie-in, the glute ham tie-ins, like not a number on the scale, but 113 would make me feel better. But it's practicing what I preach, though, because I tell clients all the time the number on the scale doesn't matter, and it doesn't. So if I see my butt cheeks carved out at 114, I'm gonna be thrilled. Anyway, let's go lift. Later in the day, we went to the power sports dealership and checked that out. Other than that, we've just kind of been hanging. I ended up taking a nap. I am so tired. I went too hard in the paint yesterday. I had way too much fun yesterday, but catching up on steps right now is I was really behind. I'm not behind now. I've since rectified that, but I was really behind. But guys, I am so tired. Elsie and I both did, apparently. But yeah, that's where I'm at. 3 meals in. About to knock out steps. Tomorrow is a full rest day, so nothing other than steps. I'm excited. I'm gonna try to work on my tan. Got a really bad shorts tan line. But anyway, I was just coming on here because yesterday I feel like I was like super high energy and happy, and I'm like, oh, prep is so fun, we're in it. And then today I'm like dragging ass so bad. So, that's normal. Part of it. I'm gonna finish these steps. I got one more meal, which one of these days I'm gonna take you guys to like a full day of eating. But I got one more meal to go, and then I'm honestly gonna go to bed super early. So this will probably be it for today, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Hi friends, what's up? It is now Tuesday, I don't know, my watch is on the charger. 10th, 11th? I don't know, one of those two. You got to see me this morning checking in and making breakfast. So that breakfast is actually my favorite meal of the day. I've been running high days lately. My body's just been responding to a little bit less pushing. So we've been running high days, and I get a whole bagel. A whole bagel with breakfast, and it is the best part of my day. It's like the eggs over easy that I have I've resorted to only doing frozen fruit, so I'll like microwave it for like 10 or 15 seconds, and it's divine. Yeah, that's by far my favorite meal of the day. Anyway, check-in. Can't say I'm very happy with that one, so it's kind of a bummer. Weight's up about a little less than 2 pounds, essentially 2 pounds. So I went from like 114.8 to 116.4, I think, this morning. And it's explainable. I know why, but it's still annoying. Stress was really high yesterday. That's been the motto of this prep, is managing stress. Why do I feel like I'm gonna cry? Shoot. I don't know. Life just be punching, you know? There will be times like that. But you just have to choose how you're gonna face it. So yeah, yesterday I had something happen that was just like an acute stressor, and kind of my brain's not been my friend, so an acute stressor followed by an intense bout of a little bit of negative self-talk and rumination, combined with also this was kind of funny, cycle's supposed to start today, so you know, of course that's going to play a role as well. Just trying to manage all those variables, and I'm working really hard on trying to logic myself out of all this like shit in my head. And it's just so annoying because I did so much deep work years ago to overcome this, and here it is again, back with a vengeance, and like back worse. And I know why. The last, like I said at the beginning of the video, the last 2 years, year and a half have been just honestly not good. So, that's why. And so this is an opportunity. I always think about how if you want to level up, you're going to be faced with the challenge of, like, facing the challenges it takes to be that person. And so here we are trying to level up again. So here are the challenges presented. Once again, maybe they're the same as years past, but more intense because the level we're going to is higher. So that's all it is. But one thing I want to work on this week specifically is trying to do stuff that's more like fun and trying to get out of the house. I sit in the house alone a lot. I go to the gym and that's about it. So I really need to make myself go work at coffee shops and things like that. But yeah, so that's kind of where we are. Not happy with that check-in, really at all. But we have reasons as to why it is that way. I know why. And those are one of the variables I can control. I can keep working on my internal dialogue. I can keep trying to show up as who I want to be. I can keep reminding myself like what I'm working on and like working towards the positive. But the hardest part of that, honestly, is again, I can logic myself out of it as much as I want, but it's sensational. Like it's fight or flight. And like when my body goes into that, yes, I can go meditate, I can go deep breathe, I can go forest bathe or whatever. But I really feel like I need like a goddamn cold plunge or something to really shock me out of it, because otherwise I just sit in it. Anyway, man, we're getting real up close and personal on YouTube, guys. Probably more than you bargained for, but there's a little insight to everything as a whole. I feel like a lot of people come into the competition world not realizing how mentally straining it can be, especially if you're already in a tough season. So just a little reminder, and you can, again, my goal is to choose to use this as a tool to level up, even in a hard season. But sometimes, I mean, that's hard. So sometimes it's going to be hard, you know, and that's the name of the game. Anyway, I'm done yapping. Probably gonna wrap this video up here. I don't know. I hope that was helpful to someone. I hope it didn't sound like me whining, but that's not the goal. Anyway, have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Hi friends, we're back. We're doing cardio. I didn't want to end the video on a sad note, so we're gonna end with something fun. It got introduced into the plan a few days ago. So we're gonna do some sprint intervals at this track. I've been doing a mixture of sprint intervals, and I did some elliptical intervals the other day. But the idea, we are under a heat advisory right now, like extreme heat index advisories with temperatures over like 100. LOL. I don't think that's the case tonight. I think it's like in the upper 90s. But doing things on the elliptical in the garage hasn't been fun because it's honestly very stifling. So we're at the track. It's like 7 p.m. I'm gonna get warmed up.
am so sore. My adductors are like that resistance band at the gym that's cracking and about to snap, but you use it in hopes that it will last. That's my adductors right now. But it's gonna take me a billion years to warm up, so let's keep rolling. It's so funny. There you go. I'm scared. My body hurts. It's good for me. It's working. The blend or the hit's working. My body's responding pretty well, actually. And actually, it's a lot more fun to do hit, I think, than it is to just like slug away on the elliptical for an hour. So even though I'm in a lot of pain, emotionally and physically, it's productive. Productive pain. Okay, let's do it. Ace said he's getting content, but I think he just wanted out of the sprints. Is that true?
Correct.
Pretty sure I ate a bug on the last one, right into the throat. Mid-workout protein. Disgusting. Help! That's a wrap. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to tonight's videographer, Ace Campfield.
Crushed it.
Let him know, rate his performance in the comments below.
Bye, everyone.